I'm in a small place called Loon. I think it's Loon. Coming south, going toward Tagbilaran. Been noticing a lot of houses with the earthquake damage. I'm here at this monument. I saw the monument from the road, so I thought I would drive up here. And you can see this heavy twisted rebar here. How it just the whole thing fell. This is some pretty serious damage. It's been this way for 2 or 3 years now. I guess the town just hasn't had the money to come back and get it reconstructed. But this is all from that earthquake about 3 years ago. I don't know what the ratings were on it. I'm looking back through here. Maybe I can walk back over there and get that, but I see another building that's been destroyed. It looks like it just literally crumbled. Here's another view of it. This is quite a massive storm or earthquake. But that steel was strong enough, they kept that fella standing up. I guess that's what you call hanging on by a thread, huh? Let me get over and try to shoot that video. Well, I noticed when I pulled up where I parked my motorcycle, it looked like a temporary church setup there out front. Didn't look like anything permanent. And as I walked back looking from that other monument, and I saw this place, this used to be their church. This was the big church. As y'all know, y'all have seen a lot of videos of the earthquake damage right after it happened, and the fronts of the facades of the churches, and actually some churches completely fell. But this is 3 years after. There was such a damage, there was so much damage here that the church was completely taken down, whatever was left standing. And if you'll notice here, you got the original bricks. They're keeping the bricks, and they're going to use these bricks. They've got them all stacked up throughout here, and they've got some new ones back over here, looks like, some of the limestone. There's some big ones there. This was the front of the church right there, and it went all the way back to here, so a pretty good sized structure. And they've taken all of these old blocks and they've stacked them up, and back over here, all the way as far as you can see, they've pulled all those blocks and they've neatly stacked them back over there. So when they start the reconstruction, they're going to be using those same blocks to rebuild the church. In the very back, if I can zoom in on it, you can see the old lumber. Now, I don't know how much of that framing lumber they're going to keep, if any of it. There's some pieces of tin and stuff in there. But this is the labor of love. It's a good example of what labor of love could be, because they're obviously going to save all of these and rebuild it. And they've gone through all the labor to tear it down, to finish tearing it down, and they're going to go back and rebuild. But this is all on the church property. And back over here is the temporary church. Kind of a lean-to carport with some tin roofs on it, and they got a bunch of chairs where the parishioners come in here. And I think I see a nun inside. This is their, I guess it'd be kind of like their plaza in this little town, Loon, L-O-O-N. And then on the other side of here is where all the chairs are. These are more of the bricks, more of the rocks that came out of the church and the wall. All neatly cut, and they've got them all stacked up here. But you got this is your area in here for the preacher. And then she's doing her, whatever they call it, put the water on them, blessing or something. And then they've got a statue back over here in the back, and then they've got bleachers and more chairs in here. Now this in the front looks like that's new, the new altar in there, if that's what it is. But all of that's been rebuilt. They've got all of these rocks to go. Several rows of them here stacked, run all the way down to rebuild the church. Maybe another 5 years, 10 years, they'll have the church reconstructed. I'm still in Loon, this little town Loon where that church was, and Coming down the road a little more, I saw this building. And hello. And you can see the damages here where the whole building fell out and fell down and under and busted in half, and they're still working in there. But they've got I don't know if and when they're ever going to get this one fixed. This is a gas station, a Shell station. I have seen some signs in front of some of the houses under reconstruction that there is a natural disaster or an earthquake fund set up. So I'm glad to see that the government's involved helping some of the houses get rebuilt. I think the people are taking care of the church, and you know, church is probably funding some of it. But I've seen some government assistance on some of the houses here that are being worked on. So that's great. You know that the government money and maybe some donated money is going to some good use here. All right, I'm still at the gas station. I just turned around and looked, and here's another structure that came down during the quake. This thin wall. They use a lot of gravel in there. You see a lot of rock in the wall there. I'm surprised that they would do that. And there's small rebar, about a 10mm rebar in there. So there wasn't much holding that building together. All it took was an earthquake to bring it down. Probably a commercial building because it was on the corner here, and there's no telling if somebody was lost in that when that collapsed. But underneath there's a little area down in there where a cavity. So hopefully everybody's okay. Right across the street from the church. It's called the Church of Our Lady of Light here in Loon, L-O-O-N. This is a really hard hit church. The whole thing is demolished. This one was built in 1853. It's one of the most beautiful of the 19th century churches built in Bohol. And there's more of the bricks going all the way around on it, stacked all the way around the perimeter. It's a really, really big church. There's a picture of it when it was built. Try to zoom in on it for you. So you got two big bell towers on either side. It's the Nuestra Senora de la Cruz Church, Loon Church. So this was the original big town church. And you can see what's left of it with all the rocks on it going around it. Alright, let's get on down the road a little further. Zoom in across the street. There's the gas station. And there's that building on the corner. That was a commercial building. I can see the front now.